One of the coolest things about having a 3D printer is making useful things for around the house. So we're going to take all the skills that we've been learning and we're going to make a key rack. Let's go ahead and jump into Blender. What we want is our key rack to be about 9 inches long. So let's hit Shift A to add a cube and then hit N to pull up the side panel and then just go right here to the X value and change that to 25.4 because that's millimeters, which is 1 inch, and then times that by 9. That'll give you 9 inches of length. Now for the height, I'm just going to kind of eyeball this, so hit S to scale and then Y to constrain it on that Y axis there. And then we're just going to scale that to be about the size we want it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's looking pretty good right there. Now a couple things, if I want this to be a little bit thicker than that obviously, so I'm going to make this 1/4 of an inch by going 25.4 times 0.25. And now if that's too thick, I could just divide that by 2 to make that 1/8 of an inch. And that looks much better. Now we want to bevel these edges, but if I tab into edit mode and select an edge, hit Control B, you see that it bevels weird, and that's because we scaled this outside of edit mode. So outside of edit mode, hit Control A, and you'll see all these different apply tos, location, rotation, and scale. Now watch this scale as I hit Control A and apply to scale. They all change to 1. So now if I tab into edit mode and then do Control B, you can see that that works perfectly. Now here's a cool trick. If you select another edge and hit Shift R, it'll just duplicate that bevel that you did. Now I could do it to the other edges, or we can select the whole thing, spacebar or F3 to pull up the search menu, and then type in symmetrize. Now we need to go down to this menu and change it to positive X to negative X, and there you go. Now that seemed like a whole lot of work. Now what we want is we want to put some lead holes right here for screws or nails, and they say about 5 or 4 millimeters are great for screws. So let's go ahead and hit Shift A, add a cylinder, and let's make sure that the vertice count is smooth. 128 is good. And now I can move this and we can see that cylinder right there. Now this is only 2 millimeters, so I'm going to change this to 5 by 5 by 5, so that's 5 millimeters. Now I'm going to turn it, and as long as it's going through the top and the bottom, we're good. Now I can eyeball it like that if I want to, or I can turn on snapping and go to increments right here. And so I can increment based on this. So for example, do you see how it kind of snaps? So move it there, tab into edit mode, select everything with A, and then Shift D to duplicate, and then just increment it to where it's going to be right there. And then tab out of edit mode, and now we're going to add a Boolean. So go ahead and select that plaque thing, go to the wrench, add, generate, Boolean, and with the eyedropper, select those cylinders, and then hit apply. If I hide those or delete those, you can see that we have those holes that we can do screws or nails through. Now let's go ahead and close everything there. Let's say that I want to put some text right there saying, I don't know, like keys. Shift A, add text, and then you can't really see that. So let's go ahead and zoom in. We can see how small that is. So let's scale this up. I'm just eyeballing this. It doesn't need to be exact. And then I'm just putting it about where I want. And now I'm going to select everything and put keys. It's hard to see, so let's hide this plaque with H. Now I forgot an S, so let's tab back into edit mode and put an S. Let's go ahead and select this, hit convert to mesh. And now, as I tab into edit mode, you can see it's a mesh. I can select everything, hit E to extrude, and just extrude that down like such. And then I'm going to move it up, unhide that plaque again, and as long as it's going through the top and the bottom, we can do a Boolean cut. And as I look at this, I don't like where the key's actually located, so I'm going to try and center this. Now you'll notice that it's snapping a little bit. So if I hold Control, it disables temporarily the snapping. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball where I want it to be, and that looks centered enough to me, and so it doesn't need to be perfect. Now what I can do is I can select the plaque, go to the Add Modifier, Generate Boolean, select the keys, and now don't hit Apply without checking because sometimes it doesn't work, as you can see right there. So let's undo that, select the plaque, and then go to Fast. And now as I look through, I can see that it's actually going through. So always check to see if it's cutting through before you hit Apply. Now before I apply, let's hide this keys, and now hit Apply. And now I have keys going into this plaque. Now I'm going to put these little hooks here. So I want to do about the same size of those screws there. So Shift A, add cube, and then N to pull up the side panel and do 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. And that's going to be the thickness of each hook. Maybe even make it a little smaller, like 4 if you want to, but 5 is fine. Let's hide this, and then let's tab into edit mode, and then go 3 to side view, and then top is here, front is here, and because I'm on the side. Let's go vertex select, turn on X-ray mode. So what we want to do is we're going to make kind of a little hook, and we're going to duplicate some squares to use as guides so that I can actually extrude to exact locations. Let's go ahead and go back in and do that now. And so hit Shift D to duplicate this, and I'm just going to move it about where I want it to be, like anywhere, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use these as guides. So I'm going to select all of these, turn on snapping, and go to vertex. And now as I hit G to move, we can snap, hit constrain Y, and then it'll snap right there, hit extrude Y, and then it'll snap right there. And so now I'm going to move this up. It doesn't matter how much. And now I'm going to extrude. And this is where the keys are going to kind of hang right there. And then I'm going to bring it back. I want to be the exact same height there. So I'm going to hit G to move, and then Z to constrain, and then snaps, and then E to extrude, and then Z to constrain. And now I'm just going to take this and extrude that. And there we have the hook coming out. I can go ahead and delete this. I don't need this anymore. And the reason I use it is so that the hook was all even dimensions. So it's the same thickness all the way through. Now, as we look at this, we're going to just edit it based on our eye. So for example, I'm going to tab into edit mode and then select these, and I'm just going to move this back because I don't need that much material. And there's going to be a couple other changes as I look at this, I'm sure, but I'm going to need to look at it in comparison to the plaque itself. So let's go ahead and turn off X-ray mode, Alt-H, and yeah, you can see this is way too large. And so I can just scale this. Well, let's move it to where I want it to be, and then scale it with S. And now I want these to be basically flush on the bottom of that plaque there. And so I'm going to turn on snapping. So up here, edge detect, and then GY, and then just hold over an edge to snap. And then it snaps. And I like the location too. Now let's say I want to duplicate these. You'll notice that the center of the object is actually correct because it's in the center of the peg. And that's because I'm moving that outside of edit mode. Now, if I move this in edit mode, you'll see that the center actually doesn't move. So I want the center in the center. If it's not, you can always hit set origin, and you can also search this, and then you go origin, choose geometry, and I'll move it. Now, it's okay if it moved down as long as it's correct on the x-axis. And that's all I'm really caring about. And now that it's centered correctly, I'm going to go to wrench, add modifier, generate, and then array. And what happens is based on this, it'll offset and make copies along the x-axis. So here I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and now I can make as many copies evenly spaced as possible. And then I can just kind of eyeball this. So 7 to go to top view, and then I'm just going to kind of move it until it lines up with that hold. And if you hold shift, it gives you more control as well. And then that might be off by a fraction of a fraction, but no one would ever be able to tell by their eyes. Now I can go ahead and delete that text there. And as I look at this, I want the pegs and the plaque to be flush on the top with one another. And so I'm going to tab into edit mode, 3 to go to side view, Alt-Z to go X-ray, select with B, box select all those. Snapping is already on, G to move, and then Z to constrain, and then it snaps right there. And now it is going to be flush. And so we're good to go. Now the nice thing is, you actually don't need to merge these using a Boolean, but you can if you want. And so I went ahead and did that. I also imported some SVGs, and let's go ahead and go to the scene and look at those now. And so I have a lot of SVGs of cats. I'm going to find which of the cats I want. So I like this one right here. It's looking down at the keys. And then I want another one maybe on the other side. And I'm going to hit S to scale, -1, and then X to constrain on the x-axis, and that just flips it. And then I'm going to move that right there so it's like they're looking at the keys. Now I can just basically delete the rest of these. And now with the cat selected, I'm going to right click and then convert that to mesh, tab into edit mode, and then 3 to go to side view, and then snapping is still on, G, snap it to that along the Z axis, and then E to extrude, and then snap it on the bottom there. And now it's flush, and it's good to export. Now you don't have to use a Boolean to unify this, but I went ahead and just merged those using Boolean and then exported that as an STL. So now I'm going to take this into Prusa, and let's go ahead and look at that right now. As I look at this, you'll notice that these are miscolored and there's all these weird red things. That's because there's going to be some errors and it's not manifold. If I slice now, you can see that some of it worked, but the cat just disappeared. And so going back into Blender, we can see the face orientation is all over the place. So go to the side panel with N, go to 3D print, and then make manifold. It'll fix it. And now as I bring it back into Prusa Slicer, I can hit slice now, and everything works And let's go ahead and iron this. So let's go to Print Settings, go to Infill, and then Ironing, enable that, all top surfaces. Also, let's go to Support Material. Yes, we want to generate support material. And let's go ahead and go to Organic. Now as I go back to the platter and hit Slice Now, you can see that it works. There's going to be supports and it's ironed super smooth. When we print that, it's going to be high quality. And now we're ready to print this off.